Stop scrolling, stop scrolling, stop scrolling.
We're here. And you better get used to us, bro, because we on our business tip. We on our business tip for the rest of the month, probably for the rest of the year. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, yeah. Y'all gonna see more of us.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, it's the Handicap and Chill podcast, and welcome. And I got my host.
Man, I'm Mike Chill 57, always opinionated, never intimidated.
And I'm Real Life Nasty, the coolest dude in the wheelchair, you know what I'm saying? And we back, man. Did you miss us? Because we missed y'all. How's your
Yeah.
been, Michael?
Oh man, I've been good, man. Had a busy day. I had to hit the gym because I started a new challenge, man. Uh uh 57 days of staying consistent. I'm staying consistent with working out every day. I'm posting videos every day. I'm drinking water the right amount every day. That's the part I got to work on. But this day three, man, I've been working out. I've been posting, just trying to stay consistent and use my God given gifts and not put them to waste.
Yeah, I feel you. Like I ain't gonna lie, bro. And, we gotta be very consistent with the podcast. Because for those who don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Michael, we're part of the same team, bro. But we work in different ways or other things, like other projects, other things that we're doing outside of the podcast. So sometimes God don't know this, but we be tired, but we still make it happen for y'all.
Oh yeah, we still gotta get up and get at them, man. Fatigued, tired, sleepy, whatever, man. We gotta go. You know what I mean?
Now I got a 15-minute nap, but I was like, oh shoot, it's time for the podcast.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That done happened to me before too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. So like you said you started to drink more water and stuff. How much water do you drink? How much water are we supposed to drink?
So I think you're supposed to drink your weight in ounces. So I'm 160. Believe it or not, yo, I'm 160. So I'm supposed to drink 160 ounces of water.
Man,
Now
I don't know how much water I'm supposed to drink. So it's not 8 cups of water like it's always been.
that's cool. That's a good start. That's average. That's cool. But yeah, I think it's your weight in ounces. So how much do you weigh?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm like 130.
Okay, you want that? That's what I used to be for the longest until I just got up to 160. But I was like 130, 140 for most of my life. And then
But I'm not gonna lie, bro. The thing with you is like, so like you work out and your weight mass is a little bit different than me. And sometimes you be sitting in your wheelchair, or you know what I mean. So
yeah,
because when I was in college, and I
yeah,
sit in my wheelchair a lot,
yeah.
I gained a lot of weight.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I'm more like well, I'm mostly like muscle, man. My only trouble area is my stomach. And my frame ain't that big. So I don't think I can get no more than 160. I think 170 will be pushing it. I went on Google to look at somebody my height and weight. So Kevin Hart, they say he 5'5" and he weigh 145. And he in pretty good shape. So if he 145, he must be real lean. Cause man, cause he a couple inches taller than me. I'm 5'2". If he
Well,
five
Kevin
five, then
Hart,
he's 45.
you said Kevin Hart.
Yeah, Kevin Hart. Google say he 5'5" and he weigh 145.
Now you're like 5'3".
He probably, but even if he 5'3", 145, now I got muscle mass, so I ain't trying to bulk up. I ain't trying to gain no more weight. I'm just trying to get more definition. So
Yeah, now I be working out more. Um, I've been staying away from sweets. Now I ain't gonna lie, I have been eating sweets sometimes, but I don't
okay.
I don't I don't eat them. I don't eat them as much as I used to. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. When I was a teenager and in my 20s, I used to go to in high school. I used to have the Swiss cake rolls in my backpack, man. Cause I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
get
them days used to be banging, boy.
yeah, hell yeah. And people used to be like, oh man, let me get one as soon as I open it up. Like, god damn. And then I used to love them Boston cream pies. I still love the Patty LaBelle sweet potato pie. That's okay. But I like the what's that? The peach cobbler. I love the peach cobbler from Patty LaBelle. That shit fire. But I
I
don't get
make
it
peach
that
cobbler
often.
too.
Huh?
She make peach cobbler too.
Yeah, she make peach cobbler, man. You gotta. I ain't even had all the items she make, but the peach cobbler way better than the sweet potato pie.
I ain't gonna
Why?
lie. Since I kind of fell back from the sweets, I ain't really been keeping up with it because Pop Tarts used to be my thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I used to eat them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, a snack. I used to just yeah. I used to.
Yeah, like
I the
people don't know them
s'mores.
Pop
I used
Tarts
to
get you
run
through,
through.
boy.
Yeah, I used to run through the s'mores. The s'mores pop tarts. Boy, I used to run through them, boy.
Pop Tarts and flavor water. That's what got me. Where I was like, I gotta watch. Gotta be cool.
Yeah, some hot pocket. If I don't work out for a while, I get a little pudge in my stomach because that's the only place I gain weight. I don't gain weight nowhere else, nowhere. So it looked kind of weird because I'm like slim and my stomach just poke out a little bit. So I be keeping an eye on that stomach and doing ab and core workouts. But yeah, and going to the gym in general. But yeah,
Cool. Sp- Since we're talking about working out and getting rid of some things and trying to do better, good transition. Good transition.
right, right.
So I was talking to my mom today. Hi, mom, beautiful queen, you. And I was talking to my friend named Chrissy. Right?
Okay.
We went to the store today, right? And Chrissy told me a story about how she uh she has a dude she been talking to off and on for 6 years. He's going through a lot, but he puts her through a lot mentally and physically. Well, not physically, physically on the tip of she's hurt, she's crying, she's going through it. But
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he's the dude is no good for her, but that's not my place to say. But okay, so Chrissy feels like he's going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? He's going through a lot of health problems, or whatever case may be. Chrissy, Chrissy been with us for some years, 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Now he has a lot of health problems, but he doesn't treat Chrissy like she's supposed to be treated, and
Mm,
it's a lot of toxic up and down situations with that.
mm,
Well, well, okay, well, he's found himself in some legal trouble. You know what I mean? Now, the legal trouble. Now, me and Chrissy, we've had this conversation. I told Chrissy, yo, you gotta let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because you're starting to become an enabler.
mm.
Because Chrissy feels like I do everything for people and I do everything for him, and he does me bad. And I told her, well, that's what's going to happen if you keep coming to the rescue for him.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? Because when somebody knows I can do this to you, I can treat you like this, I can move like this, and you still gonna find a way to come back. Now, how do you expect somebody to change? And well, she said to me, well, if you care about somebody, you can't just give up on them.
Yeah, but you got to draw the line somewhere. You
Yeah,
got
yeah,
to.
yeah. So I said, I understand you can't give up on them, but like, at what point do you? And I'm gonna ask you this: even though you don't want to give up on somebody, you want to see them do better, right? At what point do you sit back and say, you know what, I can no longer help you. You
I,
gotta, I have to go my way. You gotta go yours. How do you feel about that?
yeah, you got to reach your boiling point at some point because if you just continue to help somebody, treat them good, and they're doing the opposite, they're gonna keep doing it because they don't have an incentive to change. So if they don't have a reason to change, why would they change? They're like, I'm doing you dirty, I'm not there for you, but you still there for me. Okay, I can keep being shitty and won't nothing change on your end. So everybody got their boiling point. Some people can put up with more than others, but eventually, man, you got to cut them off if they don't change because people got to want to change. They got to do the work. You can help them, but you can't help a person that don't want to help themselves. So, and sometimes things run their course, and that's it. And everybody not meant to be together forever, and that's relationships, romantic, friendships, business, whatever it is. Some things ain't meant to be forever. It's only for a season. Now, how long you want your season to be? That's up to you.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm glad you said that because, like you said, some people are only supposed to be here for a season, and sometimes we don't know how to let go of that season, and we try to make it into a lifetime. You know what I mean? When like, and that's true fact. Sometimes we can take something that we were supposed to let go, don't let go of the situation, and drag it on too long, right?
Yeah.
So so me and my mom had a conversation, and she was like, "Well, I don't feel like she should give up because God didn't give up on us." And "Well, I also believe that God will continue to hurt you until you realize yourself, or God will continue to let you get hurt until you realize yourself it's time to go. Because if you know you're not, because it's a thing that goes on, right? If you know this is not where you're supposed to be, and you see signs of this is where you're not supposed to be, that's God showing you, hey, you're not supposed to be over here.
Right, right, right. The stove is hot. Don't burn yourself.
So if God's showing you you're not supposed to be over here, but you want to still be over here, the God said, okay, stay right over there. But when things start going, when you start getting treated a certain type of way, when you know what I'm saying, when you get mistreated, when you feel like you deserve more, you're not getting that because you want to stay right here. That's me showing you you don't need to be right here.
Yep, yep.
And
And
I
like,
had that, and I resonate with that because I learned that with my ex. Because I when I'm in a relationship, I'm all in. Okay, I don't I don't give up. All right, I don't give up. But at certain points, I realized this ain't where I'm supposed to be. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I didn't leave it because I was like, I was like, I didn't want to. I don't want to be alone. You know what I'm saying? I can make because sometimes you feel like you can make it work. You can make anything work. Sometimes you feel like we all go through problems. We all go through situations. That's how you feel sometimes, right?
Hmm.
But then it's just like, and then somehow you just realize, nah, this ain't where I'm supposed to be. And let me tell you some things that men do. Men sometimes we compromise our happiness for our family or for the relationship.
Hmm.
And I
That's
think,
that's where the saying happy wife, happy life come from.
I, do you believe in that?
Now, I was just talking about that with someone. I believe in happy spouse, happy house. That means
We
both
both got to be
parts.
happy. We both need
Yeah,
each
we
other happy.
both got to be happy. You both got to compromise and meet in the middle. I'm gonna do some things, my woman. want to do. She gonna do some things I want to do. We gonna compromise. We gonna talk about it. We gonna communicate, and we gonna come up with the best resolution for us as a couple.
And fellas, sometimes I'll be telling you, fellas, sometimes you gotta do some things you don't want to do with your woman. Like she want to go to this parade, or she want to go to the store or something. Sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes
Yeah,
you gotta do that.
you do gotta do it, and sometimes she had to do things that you don't really want to do. That's just the give and take of a relationship, and that's only a healthy, fair, compromising situation, and that's how a union should be.
Right. So I like I told my mom, I do believe that God shows you you shouldn't be here. When you keep getting hurt, that's God showing you that you shouldn't be here. But you want to. A lot of people want to be here because they don't want to. They don't want to be the reason why somebody fails.
Yeah,
And I said, Mom, the way I am is I can help you, but once you show me that you don't want the help or you gonna keep doing the same things, I gotta go. I'm not going to compromise my peace to make you better. If
right.
that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's like I'm the only one putting in effort, and I'm tugging and tugging and tugging, and you tugging in the opposite direction. That ain't gonna work. We got to be on one accord. We got to be on the same page in the same book at the same time. You know.
Right, 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 right. Now, okay, let me ask you this question. Perfect. I'm gonna give you an example. You was in a relationship. I'm gonna give you like 4 years. You was in a relationship for 4 years, right? The fourth year that you was in a relationship, y'all break up, right?
Okay.
The reason why you broke up is because she said she was just tired of the relationship. She couldn't do it no more. She wasn't the woman for you, and she said things to you like, "You made me feel like you did nothing right." I mean, you made me feel like I did nothing right. Now, if okay, now y'all break up. It's been 4 years. If she can like, okay, so when I was y'all broke up after 4 years, you've been single for like, let's say 3 years, okay?
Okay.
You've been single for 3 years, okay? She comes back in the picture and she goes, Michael, I'm sorry, I wasn't in the right place. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get myself right. I wanted to figure myself. I had to grow up. Can me and you work on being in a relationship again? Are you gonna do that?
Mm, okay. It's a caveat. If I really was the reason, and I think I do well at holding myself accountable. If I know I was coming up short and I really was the reason, then yes. But if not, if it just seemed like he wanted to try something else because the grass was greener and her coworker be smiling at her and they be having lunch on the lunch break together and she wanted to explore that or something like that, let's say, nah. Cause then it's like, okay, your situation, you wanted to be in the streets, that didn't work. Now you want to come back to me? Nah, I ain't doing it.
Yeah. How do you feel about? All right, because I'm asking you these questions because after I ask you these questions, I'm going to answer too. And I wanted to see um how both of our responses are going to be. Um, how do you feel about being with a broken woman? Like before she got with you, she was in a bad relationship for 10 years. She was in an abused relationship. When she came to you, and you were the complete opposite of what she used to. But she kind of mentally and emotionally abuses you. Not trying to, but I realized that a lot of women, a lot of people who've been in bad relationships, when they find a good dude, they emotionally abuse them because that's all they know.
Nah, I'm trying to find a woman that's healed. So if you're not healed, man, heal before you try to. introduce me in your life. I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm not because I can't cure you of your insecurities, of your lack of emotional intelligence, of
Mm,
your anger and temper. I can't personally do that. Now, I can maybe help or not make it worse by being a good person, but you have to do that yourself. That's a self journey, just like self esteem. It's yourself. Now, people can do things to disturb your self esteem or alter it, but try to get out of those situations because that's not nothing proper. That's not a situation you should be in logically. So I'm just if you hear me, bro, if you hear me come on this pod, I don't know if it's gonna be a week from now, month from now, year from now, 5 years from now. You hear me come on this pod, and say, "Hey, bro, I know y'all said I be in the streets and I don't want no wife or no girlfriend or nothing like that. If you hear me come on this pod and say, "Hey, bro, I'm off the market. I'm no longer single," you best believe I done took time to get to know her, and she's a healed woman.
right. So you said that it's not my job to heal your to fix your insecurities. That is powerful because this what I realized like while I've been because I've been in a lot of relationships and just messing with females, right? A lot of females feel like when they insecure, we're supposed to fix that. Like you ever heard of a you ever heard of a female go like she'll say some shit like I'm going through it or I got some problems and you be like, all right, well I'm cool on that. And then she'll hit you with the well if you love me you'll wait or if you love me you'll work with me through it. I can't work with you through your insecurities. I don't got that kind of time. Like you need to
See, if we already together and she tell me that, I'm gonna say, "What's wrong? Can I help?"
but
Right?
not but like we shouldn't not to cut you off. Like
Um,
you shouldn't even be with somebody and she don't express that she got like she gotta like you gotta express the insecurities when we first start talking because like take it from me I was with somebody right who had
yeah.
real bad insecurities and I ain't do nothing wrong, you feel me, and it's just like the whole relationship she was "Yeah, I think you over here talking to girls. Or, oh, your mama and your daddy don't like me. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So we when I wanted to take her places, she was like, "No, I don't want to go nowhere with you because you probably got friends that's gonna talk about me." Like, all I like if you start telling me that you ain't got over your insecurities, like you said, you gotta be healed coming over here. Like if you not healed, I can't talk to you. I don't have the patience or the time to deal with all that.
Yeah, in that scenario, she must have felt like when y'all got in an argument that you went back and told your family and friends or something. Cause
No,
that's
it's her ex boyfriend, right? Her ex
yeah.
boyfriend used to beat on her, call her name, abuse her, and all that. So
Um.
she expected me to do that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You gotta work on yourself. Maybe get therapy and come healed, man. Um. Now, insecurities can grow. Uh, New insecurities as the relationship progresses. For example, I remember I was dating this woman, and I was rapping, I was performing often, like every weekend, every other weekend. So I told her I rap, but she was just like, whatever, you know how it go. Oh, another local rapper. So she didn't really like read too much into it. So and she seen me do one performance, and the crowd was like blah. So she was like, cool. She was being like light supportive. Okay, so then the next show she seen of mine, it was at this bar called the Red Sea. Anybody in Minneapolis, they know about the Red Sea. Shout out to the big homie, to your big homie AK. Salute to you, my brother. Uh yeah, man, I did a show at the Red Sea, man, in every line, bro. It was like, oh, every single punchline, bro. And I had the crowd rocking, man. And after that, she looked at me and said, "Man, you're good. You're gonna get famous and leave me." And after she said the words, bro, our relationship was never the same. Every time I was rapping around the house, she started screaming like, "You always rapping around the house." I was like, bro, but I had to practice for a show. She'd be like, "I want to come over." I'm like, "No, I got to practice for a show." She'd be like, "Okay, I'll be quiet. Don't worry. It'll be like I'm not there." She'll come over there, and then she mad because I'm playing the song that I'm about to perform 10 times. Well, I told you I had to practice. So it was never the same once she seen that reaction from the crowd, and a insecurity grew in her, and she thought that I was gonna get like rich and famous and leave her. But in reality, I pray that I find a woman that's genuine before I get uber successful, because I get uber successful and then find a woman. In the back of my head, I'm gonna think, is she here for the right reasons?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like, 'cause, by the way, we starting to feel that success a little bit. We getting a little taste
Yeah,
of it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, yeah,
so it's knocking at that door.
yeah.
Man, let me tell you what happened, bro. I was with this girl, bro, and I ain't really a cheater or whatever. Now, if you keep pushing me out the door, you
Yeah, you
keep
might cheat. Yeah.
if you like, but you know how you try, like, nah, I ain't a cheater, I ain't a cheater, but you keep it like, so that it's like, you know what? Now I'm not like that no more because it's like nobody should. I heard this saying one day, and this person said nobody should change the way you handle things. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
you
What you
gotta.
mean by that?
What
Explain.
means is like, which means is you should let somebody get you so pissed off that you become the person they think you are. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I believe that.
you know what I'm saying? That's what they. That's the. I understand it now. You know what I mean? But she was, yeah, cause yeah, this what I used to be in the battle rap scene very heavy. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, like you can come with me. We can go watch. We can go to some battles or whatever. Then she was like, no, I'm not going with you to no battles. So you can talk about me to your friends and da 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 da. And you're supposed to be more focused on me and more focused on the kids. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I was playing stepdaddy.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't gonna. You're supposed to be focused on me, focus on the kids, and da da da. I was like, oh, this is crazy, bro. And it just, I had to get up out of there, man.
Yeah,
I had
like
to
it
get up out.
seemed like she didn't want you to have a life outside of her.
Yeah, like, bro, I do not want to be in a relationship where it feel like prison, bro.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You even in a relationship, you still got to be an individual. So you can never lose the fact that you're your own person and she's her own person, and then y'all come together to just form one. But still,
All right, let me test it. Let me test it. Let me test the gangster real quick. Let me test the gangster.
all right.
All right, so look. All right, so look. You with your old lady, right? You
Yeah.
with your girl, right? All right. Your phone is on the table. You know what I'm saying? You going to wash dishes. You going to wash dishes. And she goes, babe, let me check your phone. You let her check your phone?
Why she want to check it just because?
Just because she just want to make sure you ain't talking to no females.
No, that's kind of weird, man. If you think I did something, okay, but you just because she can do that once a week. You just just a feeling. You just I ain't did nothing wrong. You just got a feeling and you want to check. Nah, that you overstep.
Okay, somebody pulled up. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a guest.
Uh,
Yes, sir. Hold on real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, what's poppin'? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we got we got our guest. Oh, he snuck up on us too. We got Kyle. What's up, Kyle Barboza?
How's it going, man? How's it going?
How you doing?
What's up,
All
man?
right.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Handicap and Chill podcast.
All right. All right. Yes. Yeah. Good to good to see both of y'all. Good to see that you're both doing well. Sorry, I'm running late.
It's all good.
I'm
All right,
good.
so I have to ask you this question because
Yes.
the way you popped up. All right, I asked my homie Michael 57. I said, if you got a girl, she wanted to check your phone, are you letting her do it?
Yeah.
Oh man, you said that confidently.
Yeah.
You believe in letting your girl check your phone, bro?
Absolutely. I got nothing to hide, so I ain't got no problem with it.
I don't know. I kind of feel like if you're checking my phone, you might as well. I feel like you looking for something.
Well, here's okay. So here's the thing. I've been through this before, right? So my thing is I believe in honesty, especially if you've been with a person for a while. The heck you got to what the heck else you got to hide? Nothing, you know. So and like I said, I've been through it before.
Okay, I get that. I was just saying, like, if like nothing had happened and
Yep.
she just randomly say, "Let me check your phone," that's
Hmm.
kind of a bit much because she can start doing that every week. Now, if something happened or you suspect something, then okay, because I ain't got nothing to hide either. But
Yeah.
just checking my phone weekly,
Yeah.
monthly, just cause you fell away. Now, guys that done like say they cheated on their girl before, I understand why they kind of insecure and not trusting because people don't understand. Even when you say sorry, it takes a while to gain that trust back. It ain't gonna be back in a month or two. So she might want to check your phone if you cheated or lied about your whereabouts or something like that. I understand that. So fellas or women, if you out there doing sneaky things or stuff you shouldn't be doing, then don't wonder why your significant other is uh second guessing things you say and do. Because
Hmm.
then it's valid.
And well, um, that's how my last relationship ended. So
You you saw
she
something in
cheated.
her phone? Oh, she
She
did.
no, she cheated, and I found out. She told me after being secretive about it, and then I crashed out in public, and that's how we ended, and that's how that ended.
I ain't gonna lie. It's nothing wrong with a good crash out every once in a while. Like,
Look looking back, did you see like red flags that she was cheating?
Um, I thought about it. I thought about it sometime because we had 3 years of resistance, right? Like, and thinking about it again. Surprisingly, we ended up becoming friends again, if you can believe that.
Okay.
I can believe it.
But yeah, there was one crucial thing that I noticed, and I should have put. I it should I should have just brought it up as a red flag, and that
Mhm.
was she kept calling me by my first name.
Oh, and she never does that.
Exactly. It was either Babe or the nicknames we had for each other at the time. And then things like she would say like, okay, so she knew I was into like until this day into like anime and Japanese stuff, right?
Yeah.
So at one point when we were talking, she's like, "Why are you so good to me? Why don't you go out and get a Japanese girl or something, or an Asian girl or something?" Because like,
Wow.
and I was like, "Because I don't want an Asian girl, I want you." Right? And then a couple of months later, April of that same year, 2012, is burned into my head. Um, that's when the truth came out.
Mhm. So she just like told you.
Okay. Let's put it this way. And I hate keeping to bring this up, but it's part of our history. So, and she's even said this on a live stream I did with her once.
Oh,
Um, yeah. So yeah, I like one time we did a live stream about exes, and I was the ex, right? And she didn't want to. And at first she was like, I don't want people to think I'm a bad person. I'm like, it's years later. We forgave each other. I think you can do it, and she did. But really, what happened was, so we used to have a routine, right? The routine was one of us would call each other to wake the other one up, right? I was getting up for work. She would call me, say hi. We would talk for a while, and that would be the start of the day. Then she would call, like my lunch break, and then when I got home, we were in a long distance relationship.
okay.
So yeah, we were in a long distance relationship. So this day, I noticed I couldn't get in touch with her at all. Like her phone was ringing, but there was no answers whatsoever. I would text, nothing, no response. I wasn't getting a response all day. So I reached out to her sister because me and her sister were friends. So I was like, okay, is she okay? And she's like, yeah, I'll have her call you. And that should have been I was like, have her call me. Before it was like, we were calling each other all the time because she would constantly remind me of the fact that we were in a long distance relationship. I was over here, she was over there, so she was insecure about that, you know. And then I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because we had already broken up twice before, so I was
Oh,
like, okay, yeah. So it's like, okay, so what the heck is going on? And she explains, and her exact words were, I met someone at this place. I'm like,
mm,
what place? She's like, this place. And I'm like, is this really what you want? Is this happening? And she's like, yes. She just straight up said it, no remorse in her voice or whatever.
mm.
And then that's when I had to crash out. And yeah, that was it. It was resisting. I resented her for a good 3.5 years after that.
So would you recommend long distance relationships? Would you do it again?
I've done it twice.
Okay.
So my thing is, no matter what kind of relationship you're in, whether you're local or long distance, the biggest thing is trust, right? Biggest thing is communication and trust. I'm in a loving relationship now with the person I love without no doubt in my mind, and now she lives right next door.
Okay.
So and that was, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. But the biggest thing is, no matter what your relationship dynamic is, if you don't have trust, you don't have anything. You know,
Cool. I agree. One more question on that. How much distance was it apart? Were you guys apart?
3 hours.
Okay.
That ain't bad.
Not bad, but it's still a distance, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
it was
that's like
three.
that's like a little weekend trip. Feel me?
Yeah, we would have to plan out trips because we could only do it every couple of like every couple of months. I only had part-time jobs,
Yeah.
so trying to save up money was one thing,
Yeah.
but and she was also the first trip I took on my own.
Oh,
It was me and my homeboy, and we went to go see her and her family, and that was when we met in real life for the first time. So,
okay.
yeah, a lot
Nah,
there. We
I
were
ain't gonna
we
lie.
were together for 2.5 years.
I'm
Um,
not gonna lie. And I'm gonna say this right. I'd have been in a relationship where like the person lived down the street from me. Like like I could literally get somebody to take me over there,
Yep.
and it felt like a long distance relationship. So it's not even it's not about the distance by like hours per
Yep.
se. It's about the communication.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like if the
Exactly.
communication is trash, you can be right next door to somebody and be like, bro, even though you next door to me, I don't get to see you like that for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
wow, wow, yeah.
Yep.
man, and I'm sorry that we just brought you in like this,
It's all
but
good.
you know what I'm saying? But like before we continue, tell everybody your story, bro. Like,
Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, so my name is Kyle Eric. I am a freelance audio video editor and podcaster. I live with cerebral palsy, specifically spastic dysplasia. Had in my whole life, and just gone through the your trials and tribulations with it, as anyone does. But I'm here, and I love where I am in life right now.
Oh, can I? Because we both have cerebral palsy also, and
Yep.
cerebral palsy it varies in how severe it is. So,
Yes.
how does your cerebral palsy affect you on a daily basis?
So it's all in my hips, right? So I'm constantly stiff. My muscles are always, like always, like stiffening up in my legs. I've had 3 surgeries for it. Had metal pins and everything. Any of this sound familiar? Had
Yeah,
metal
yeah,
and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
put.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I feel like even though our diagnoses aren't exactly the same, I feel like I'm
yeah.
talking to kindred spirits. You feel me?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
similar.
like we
Yeah,
we cerebral palsy, we cerebral palsy brothers. Like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. We had
yeah,
so
yeah.
you don't need crutches or
I had them.
walkers.
I had them. I
Okay,
had I had crutches, walker, braces, wheelchair. Done time in a wheelchair. Uh,
okay,
many times. And yeah, at the moment I do not need them. Um,
okay.
Now, they did
Good.
say when I was a kid, tell me if this sound familiar. He may not walk. They did say to my mom, he may not walk.
Yeah,
He may be in a wheelchair all his life. He might have to have a hip replacement by the time he's 30. I'm
yeah.
almost 40. You know what I mean? So yeah, I've gone through the gambit. I've gone through the gambit. Just right at the moment, I don't right at the moment I don't need anything like that.
Okay.
I also had lazy eye growing up too, so I had to have an eye patch. You
Yeah,
know,
I got a lazy eye, and so I went to my eye doctor, and I'm like, I saw online that you can wear an eye patch and maybe strengthen it, and she was like, yeah, maybe if you did that when you was a kid, it's too late now as an adult. That's what she told me.
did
So
they give anybody? Was that an option when you were a kid? Like, did
I don't,
anybody talk
I, I
to
don't,
your parents or
I
anything?
don't remember nobody saying that. I was born in 1982, so in 1982, I don't remember no doctor saying, hey, you got a lazy eye. Maybe your son should wear an eye patch. I don't recall that not from anyone.
87 for me, and
Okay.
yeah, 87 for me, and they had the iPad. They had the eye patch. I feel like my first few memories involved that eye patch, you know,
Okay.
and it was the adhesive type too that stuck to your eye. It wasn't the
Oh. Wow.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
nah,
I,
I didn't have an eye patch. But I had a real bad acid reflux.
mm,
So sometimes I might throw stuff up.
mm,
I used to that came with my cerebral palsy, right?
mm.
It used to be bad when I was younger, when I was a baby or whatever. I had to they had to put like some on my stomach the size of a quarter
Oh,
on my stomach so I don't throw up. I got a scar on my stomach to this day from that. So
oh
I mean
man,
we all go through different
yeah,
struggles with cerebral palsy, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
absolutely, absolutely. Oh, by the way, happy Disability Pride Month to y'all.
Oh yeah, man.
Appreciate
Appreciate it.
appreciate
Happy
that.
Disability Pride Month for sure. I'm actually with a nonprofit, and we're doing our Disability Pride Fest got postponed. Now the new date is September 16th. So anybody who's in the Twin Cities is at the state capitol in St. Paul, the Disability Pride Festival from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the state capitol.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
we ain't gonna have a show that day, so I think we good on that. I think we good on that day.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, right? So I'm glad that we all kind of come from the same background as cerebral palsy.
Mm.
Hey, Kyle, let me ask you, bro. How does cerebral palsy like affect your everyday life as far as dating, like just regular stuff that we're supposed to do, like going to the grocery store,
Mm.
having a social life. How's it going for you?
Yeah, growing up, I got looks. You know, like it was always it was always a look or um, and when I was when I was younger, kids would always ask me the question, "Why do you walk like that?" Because I got a really noticeable limp, right?
Yeah.
So that was the whole thing. And as far as dating, I'm gonna tell you when I first started that stage in my that stage of my life, I was incredibly nervous because I thought it would always come down to the way I walk. As I got older, I realized it wasn't that. Even though um my like in my first adult relationship, my girlfriend did tell me that at first that was something that made her nervous when she saw me walk, because like I said, it was a long distance relationship, so a good majority of our conversations were just over the phone. We didn't see each other, and this was 2009, 2010. So the video quality on most webcams weren't as great as they are now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but she did say that did make her nervous about the walk until she got to know me. You know what I'm saying? Until she got to know my personality more. Now it's like, yeah, I don't, yeah, I really don't care. Take it or leave it. You know?
Yeah, that's how I am. Take it or leave it. Because what you gonna do? I got to the proposal, so either you're gonna accept it or not. I'm not gonna waste my time with women that don't accept it. When I was younger, women used to say, "Give me some time to get used to it." But what I learned is, women that's not used to it on day one, they don't get used to it later. So
No,
I just date women that's okay with it, accept it. It usually comes from people worrying about what outside sources think about them dating someone with cerebral palsy.
exactly.
That's usually
Or a disability period
yeah, or disability period. Yeah.
that they can clearly see. When I was a kid, um, people used to they used to are y'all familiar with the term shipping?
Shipping.
Yeah.
Now, but
So
break that down for us.
Break it
okay,
down.
so I'm a nerd. It's a fandom word. So in the fandom community, shipping usually means when you put two characters together that aren't usually together. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I ship this. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
Superman with somebody else besides Lois Lane, or
Okay.
like
So
things
it's kind
like
of like
that.
opposites attract.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It could be anybody, and
Yeah.
because it's just a fan thing. It's just a fan fiction thing. Now, but it happens in real life. So it happens in real life, and what I mean by that is, and this is just a little bit of ignorance here. Some people think that disabled people should just only date other disabled people.
Oh boy, we have this
You
conversation
know
Yeah,
what I'm
all the
saying?
time.
So
we heard that a million times, man.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
in their minds, it's like, oh yeah, well, this person has a disability too, so you guys already have something in common,
yeah,
right?
right.
So in high school, apparently, and it only happened like once or twice. I was in this drama class junior year of high school, and there was a girl there that had a very noticeable disability, just like me, and people already thought we were dating. I'm like,
Yeah,
where did that come from? And I'm not saying anything like against her or anything,
yeah,
but I have no but people had this already preconceived idea that because we were disabled, and I think we were the only noticeably disabled people in the class. This is before I knew about like the ones that you couldn't see. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So they would ship us in their heads.
Yeah,
That would just be that would just be a thing. The person I'm actually my last girlfriend, she had PTSD.
okay.
Yeah, she had PTSD, which she thought was bipolar, but along with a host of other things. And the love of my life that I am with today, thank goodness.
I just
Um,
love how you keep saying the love of your life. That's fire.
listen,
Right.
no, listen. This is she's it. You know what I'm saying? And
I'm all for it, bro. Like,
you know what I'm saying? And she has a and she has a she's in a wheelchair. She has a spinal condition. I didn't
Okay.
know this. I didn't know this when we met, right? I had no idea about this when we met. So when we started talking, her and I, you know what I'm saying, she asked me, do I have a problem with maybe dating someone in a wheelchair? And she showed me her chair. She's got a nice power chair, and I got jealous because I had never had the power chair before. I always had the manual chair. You know,
Yeah, 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 me
you get what I'm
too.
saying? So I told her, I was like, "Excuse me, I've done time in the chair. You ain't gonna scare me with no. You ain't gonna
Right.
scare me with no
Yeah.
freaking wheelchair. Absolutely not. You know." So so of course it ain't about the chair or whatever else you need in order to in order to live your life. It's about the person.
so
Exactly.
You know?
so this is my take, right?
Yeah.
All right. And whoever's listening to this, y'all gonna get triggered. And I understand. But it's the Handicap Patrol podcast, and that's what we do. Oh, because I'm in a wheelchair, and my cerebral
Yep.
palsy is a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've talked to females in a wheelchair, cerebral palsy too, because it's some cerebral palsy you can't get up out the bed.
Yep.
You can't, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Some cerebral palsy you confined to the wheelchair. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'm gonna be honest. I can't talk to somebody in a wheelchair because, we both can't need help. Like, somebody we gotta meet in the middle. So so but you know what I'm saying. It can work for other people, but I tried to talk to funny story.
Yep.
I talked to this girl in a wheelchair when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go well. It just kind of felt like bumper cars, and I couldn't. I couldn't. When I went to kiss her, she had to go left. I had to go right. We had to meet in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, "No, this ain't gonna work." So, so
So, so you saying, Ruben, if they got more mobility, then it may work because they can kind of maneuver a little better. But if y'all both kind of in the wheelchair, it might be difficult.
all
For
right,
you,
pause. Everybody can pause. Like, okay, you got cerebral palsy, right?
Yep.
yeah,
But you can move with walking sticks and you can move around, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I can deal with that. Like, I
okay,
can deal with a girl that's like that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But
I
if
did.
you,
I I actually know I, I want to bring them on the show too. I know a couple. They don't have cerebral palsy, but they're both in wheelchairs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're both pretty much. I wouldn't say confined to the wheelchair because I know the wife can get out of her wheelchair, but when
Yeah.
she's moving around in public, she's having a wheelchair. Her husband's in a wheelchair all the time, and they have a kid together that's biologically theirs.
Yeah.
So they was able to figure it out. I don't know if it was easy or well, they didn't. They said it wasn't. They said
Nothing.
it wasn't
Nothing.
difficult, but they
Yeah.
figured it out. So
Mm-hmm.
then what you saying, Rude, 100%. But if you can figure it out and it works and y'all click, then
yeah, no, I
Exactly.
tried, but this is what I understand. I tried a couple times, bro, and it was just. I even talked to a girl that was in a wheelchair. She was paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's just like my homie Kyle here said. Like just because I'm in a wheelchair doesn't necessarily mean I want to talk to somebody in a wheelchair. People got to stop thinking, oh, well, you're in a wheelchair, so you can relate to what she's, and that might not be the case. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
no,
Because I've been in a wheelchair all my life. I've had cerebral palsy all my life. Some people get in
Yep.
the wheelchairs because they had accidents.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You never know. So it's a different circumstance. You can't just, people got to stop putting everybody in the same group.
And yeah, you can't just put everybody in the same umbrella. Just like, like we all have different, like how some people say they have different flavors of autism,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
yeah.
They got different flavors of autism. There's different spectrums for just about every disability that I know of.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
exactly,
Including cerebral palsy, and cerebral palsy
right.
seems to be one of the most common. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
cause I go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead,
yeah.
Kyle. Finish your
But it seems to be like the most, the most common. I just learned that. I just learned what my type of cerebral palsy was just a few years ago. You know, so
Yeah. I was watching American Ninja Warrior one day,
yep,
and I if you ever seen it, but they do like crazy obstacle courses, and there was a guy on there with cerebral palsy,
yep,
but and he almost won the show. So I'm guessing he must have a very 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 faint case of cerebral palsy because he was running doing all obstacles. I couldn't even tell he had cerebral palsy, and I can usually tell cerebral palsy.
hmm
Um, Even though it's a wide spectrum, and I couldn't with him. But I know of one person that their kid was born with cerebral palsy, and their dad was like a um, physical education
yep,
teacher, so he was able to work with his daughter as soon as she came out the womb, and
yep,
he said her cerebral palsy is pretty much uh, unnoticeable. So
So
and yeah, yeah,
so here's the thing: when a person has like a small touch of cerebral palsy, you can, because I had a friend that was like that. You can usually tell that he got cerebral palsy by his hands, by like the
mm,
way he moves, the way he works his hands.
yeah,
mm,
So you know what I'm saying? Like they don't really show it. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I have no problem talking. Let me get this right. Let me get this right. I have no problem talking to somebody with a disability. I just I like why would I set myself up for a situation where it's like now we know we both can't just like go
nah,
away.
but that's your right, and you shouldn't have to explain over and over. That's your right
mm,
as a human, as like everybody else that they has preferences. You women say, "Oh, I like a tall man," or a guy might say, "Man, I want a girl with a fat ass." So whatever your preference is, man, hey, that's
Yeah,
your
bro.
I
Yeah,
knew I
bro.
knew a girl that had an issue hugging me because I was short. So
preference. Yep, yep,
yeah,
yep, yeah. I'm only 5 feet 2. Rude say he 5'7", but he not. But
You ain't had to call
I'm
me
fi-
out like that, bro.
I'm 5'4".
okay,
Okay.
you 5'4", I'm 5'2". I got 5'4" on my state ID, but
I look, so I said
I'm
I'm
probably
5'7" because I'm trying to look tall to these, but
yeah,
I might be like on the 5'3" spectrum. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Hey,
uh,
y'all know what I noticed that's coming out like autism, the autism diagnosis and the cerebral palsy diagnosis. That's coming out a lot nowadays.
hmm Yeah,
Yeah. I
I,
I think with autism, it's a very wide spectrum.
absolutely,
So so
absolutely.
if you look uh like if you deep dive enough, everybody probably got some
from
a little
autism.
bit because if you're too loud, it can be autism. If you're too quiet, it can be autism. So I just found out about a few months ago that but cerebral palsy is part of the um starts with a D. What
Starts with a D.
oh no
Oh,
neuro
oh, oh yeah, yeah. Neurodivergent.
neurodivergent. Yeah, it's under
Y'all
the
know some big
neurodivergent
word, boy.
umbrella, and
Well,
it
yeah, yeah. Because it's a brain it's a brain injury.
yeah. So anything that it neurodivergent just means your brain don't operate the quote
Average,
unquote normal way.
like
Yeah,
the average way. And I talk about this with with one of my best friends has ADHD, right?
yeah,
And she was diagnosed in the 90s, right? When they somehow convinced themselves that ADHD was something you grew out of,
right,
or
right.
you know what I'm saying. But her mother's a nurse, and she noticed something right away, and that's how they got the diagnosis. So I've been learning a lot about ADHD from my homegirl, and also from from other sources like TikTok and Instagram, and doing
Hmm.
a bit of research myself around different around these like different spectrums of disability, because everybody wants to put everybody under one umbrella. You
Yep.
know, everybody wants to put everybody under one umbrella because it makes it easier for
Yeah.
them, right? And I'm like, ain't nothing easy. It's just that you
Well,
have to. Come on, let's
yeah, you
learn
gotta
from
do
each
the
other.
work.
Geez,
You
do the
can't be
work.
shit. You gotta do the work. But I just found it interesting, and cause I do like if I like a song,
Yeah.
if I really like a song and it's new to me, I can listen to it 30 times in a row and it won't bother me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love
But
music. I love
I,
music.
I, I always been in like the same song. I'll listen to it, and they say sometimes with like neurodivergent or autism, you might obsess over things,
Yeah.
but I think everybody obsesses over something. That's why I think well, autism is such a wide spectrum because everybody loves something, and how much you love it compared to somebody else, they might call it an obsession. Like I have an obsession with music. I have
Mm,
an obsession with I love to dance,
yep.
music, dance, yeah, just like traveling as much as I can. So
Yep.
it's just so wide that,
It's
but they label, they're gonna label,
I ain't gonna
they're
lie.
gonna label it something.
I got an obsession with myself, and I got an obsession with being on camera. That's why I like doing this.
Yeah,
yeah. For like the really like all this, it's a processing thing. It's how your brain processes stuff. You know
right.
what I'm saying? And everybody, like and everybody's, and everybody's is is different. Speaking of music, I constantly have music in my head, right? Like I can hear it clear. I can hear it clear, and I can hear it clear in my head. I got a bunch, and it's and it's stuck there until the next song plays. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And because I grew up around a lot of DJs, right?
Okay.
I got a lot of DJs and stuff in my family. So in my head, it's like a mixtape, right?
Mm.
But it's like a '90s mixtape with the DJ and the echo and everything, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I need so it's almost like I'm listening to something like a DJ Clue, but it's more like no Kyle P. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
Kyle P.
it's
right.
it's like it's like that. But I hear the music clear, and then one day I was looking it up, and I was like, wait, this is actually a thing. Like there are people out here that feel music so
Yeah.
intensely that their entire body starts getting goosebumps. Or there's people out here that can hear the music completely clearly in their head as
Yeah.
as it's repeating, and that is a thing. They've done studies on that.
Or
I was
they
like,
hear music and see colors.
and see colors.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Pharrell.
For real,
Like
I was just about to say that. Yeah.
yeah, I forgot what exactly he has, but I've seen artists do the same thing. They see they see colors, sound, they see colors. So what they started doing was they started painting what
Yeah.
sound looks like to
Yeah.
them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That is so dope.
Yeah.
Cause I look at music as like my therapy. Like
Yeah.
this is the way I like this is how I like the artist. If I can listen to your music and it can make me feel your music can like make me feel every emotion that I'm going through, like
Yeah.
everything that I'm going through, I can
Yeah.
listen to this song and I'll be like, yo, he knows exactly how I feel, or
Hmm.
she knows exactly how I feel. That's
Yeah.
how I know you're my favorite artist. Because a lot of people just be on the beat just saying a whole bunch of BS.
Hmm.
If I can listen to your music and be like, this is exactly how I feel today. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, can we? Okay, so can we get a top five list from the two of you?
as far as
Okay.
artists,
All right, I don't care what the genre is. Just give me like
Okay.
just give me just give me
you
your
go
top
first,
five.
Michael. Go ahead.
Who is
Okay.
always on the playlist?
Okay. No. No order for me
No
because
order.
I had to think about the order. Okay, Tupac on there, probably Tupac, probably my number one. Um, then I'm gonna have to go with J. Cole.
Hmm.
Uh, uh,
Um, you don't like J. Cole. I like Kendrick, but I don't know if I'm putting him in my top five. Tupac, Kendrick. I go with Bruno Mars. I feel like he's like 10% of Michael Jackson and 10% of Prince, and that's 100% better than most artists out today. So Bruno Mars. Did I say Jay Z? Jay
You did
Z.
not.
Nah, you didn't. You
Jay Z
didn't
is
say.
probably the best. I call him the best full package rapper. He
Mm-hmm.
can he can make songs for the radio, songs for the girls. He can make songs that's introspective, like Meet the Parents. That's one of my
Yep.
favorite Jay-Z songs is Meet the Parents. He really got lyrical lyrical songs too, like old school 90s New York hip hop, like Redman type, like lyrical exercise.
Mm-hmm.
So and for my fifth, I'm gonna probably go with 8 Ball and MJG. On Top of the World.
Ooh, that's a classic.
On Top of
Mm-hmm.
the World is a classic album. Now, the first album with Mr. Big, I was a little bit too young, but that On Top of the World by 8 Ball and MJG, I
Mm-hmm.
can still listen to that album today, all the way through, and not skip one song.
All right, okay,
Nice.
for me, here you go, here you go. Jordan Lucas. A lot of people don't know about Jordan Lucas.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. That's it. No, nice pick. Nice pick.
that's what I, yeah.
Jordan
Speaking of
Lucas,
lyrics,
um, it's an artist out by the name of K Camp. Um,
Okay, I know K Camp. Yeah.
Jordan Lucas, K Camp. It's an artist out by the name of Fresco Trey. A lot of people
mm-hmm.
don't know who that is, but he is fire.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Lucas, Fresco Trey, K Camp. Um, Eminem. I'll give it to myself. I'm an Eminem fan.
Same,
Okay.
Oh, for my
same.
fifth one though, this fifth one got a hit because like I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, I was like Jay Z.
Mm-hmm.
So can't nobody tell me wrong about Jay Z, bro. I
Yep.
remember like just like he was just fire to me, bro. Like so
Nice,
that was my list, bro. That's
Cool.
nice.
Let's hear
Uh,
your five, man.
for me, okay, for me,
mm,
my list like my list changes, but there's certain people that stay on spots,
Oh,
and right now, and this is it, and to me they're all number ones. Okay, LL Cool J,
I
right?
just
ooh
said that's one of my favorites. Okay, go ahead.
LL
ooh.
Go
I
Cool
didn't even
J,
expect that, but that was
because
a good one.
no, because people like okay, like people, especially now, like LL Cool J is doing everything, doing everything else, and he put out an
Yeah,
album, a couple of years ago, right? And he
yeah.
didn't have to; he just did it. That was it. He didn't have to. He was
Right.
already done. Like he was already done. He just did it. But here's the thing: he was also my first vinyl record. Was Mama Said Knock You Out,
Yeah, that was one of my
right?
Man,
favorites.
That
That was my introduction to
that
LL.
was what I'm saying, that was my first vinyl record that my parents ever bought me was Mama Said Knock You Out, LL Cool J. Eminem, right? I've been an M fan since my name is. You know what I mean?
after you say your list, I got an actual question.
Yep, yep. So yeah, Eminem, Aesop Rock.
Oh, oh my
Look,
God.
Oh,
Hey,
ASAP Rock, man. ASAP.
Aesop, not Aesop Rocky,
I
even
know.
though I think he's cool, but this is Aesop Rock, independent lyrical
Yeah, because
master,
I
Aesop Rock.
live in Minnesota and they love him. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Ace Rock. I became a
oh, it's two
huge,
different people.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Oh,
Aesop
okay. I
Rock.
got all
It's
hype for nothing.
yeah, yeah. Cause no, oh, and the funny thing is, Aesop Rock and Aesop Rocky, they did meet and they did take a picture together because people kept keep
Yeah, yeah,
mixing their
yeah.
names up, and they couldn't be any more different. But they're still,
Right.
but they're still cool.
But I
Um,
like that you like other artists that's not mainstream. Okay.
yep. Tech Nine,
Yeah,
Okay.
right?
okay. That's a
Tech
good.
Nine, yeah, Tech Nine, MF Doom.
Okay,
Oh
and
man.
man.
All right, honorable mentions, especially it was like especially right now. I got 3 honorable mentions. Okay,
Okay.
Homeboy Sandman, Look him up if you don't know. Homeboy Sandman, especially with the stuff that he does with Aesop Rock, they got a group together, 2-man group called Lice. Got like 5 projects out. Dope.
Okay, nice,
Introspective lyrical artists and very good with wordplay. Love the wordplay.
nice.
Snow the Product.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, I know
she
about
nice.
the product.
Snow,
She nice, yeah,
She the
Snow the
female?
Product.
She the female?
Yeah.
yeah. She nice.
And she spits fire with very like storytelling. She storytells.
Right,
She's bilingual, and
bilingual.
she has a different perspective coming from she's her background is Mexican, right? So
Yeah,
she talks about immigrants and politics and love and lust and her sexuality and all of that in a
yeah.
very dope way. And
She speaks her truth. She speaks her truth.
heck yeah, and also last one, King ISO.
Okay, my cousin just put me on to him. He was like, man, he part of the strange music, and
Strange
I
music.
just listened to his letter. Yeah, he
Yep.
nice, man. He nice.
My thing is, because we talk about mental health a lot,
Yeah,
that's a good majority of his music because
yeah,
comes from he talks about being in the like being in the being in the hospital in the psych ward. He talks
yeah,
about having being neurodivergent himself. He talks about being bipolar. He talks about
yeah.
being alone, what it's like, what it's like in what it's like in life, having kids, all of that. And I'm like, one of the first songs I heard from him was Chop Liver, where he was just going off on the beat, just going crazy on it. And then after that, I heard a song off an album called World War Me, and he's talking about having a fight mentally with himself. And I'm like, okay, I gotta hear more from you.
Right.
And he's with strange music. I gotta hear more from.
Yeah.
Come on, they don't get nobody but elites on that roster.
Hey man, that's a good list, man. I gotta give it up for your list, man. That's a good list,
Yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Oh, since you like music, I gotta tell you, me
Yep.
and Michael got a mixtape out called Handicap and Chill Vibes Volume 1. I'll send it to you. Send it to you
Word.
in the
yeah.
inbox.
I
All right.
will.
All right, here's the question. I want both of y'all to answer this. Okay. The song Renegade by Eminem and Jay-Z. It's been years later. Who do y'all think had the best verse?
Let me go first.
How we knew that was coming?
Gotta go first. Okay. Let's be real, y'all. Okay, so this what happened. Because
Mm-hmm.
people changing their mind as years go on. Let me tell you what happened. Technically, from a technical lyrical standpoint, um, Eminem had the better verse from a technical lyrical standpoint. I think where people say, "Oh, now that I get older, Jay Z had," it's always what it been for Eminem. Even me, I love Eminem, but I don't always relate to his music. Right? I can't relate to wanting to kill my mom. You know what I mean? And some of the wild stuff he say, even though I love him lyrically, and some of his stuff is fun. I like Eminem when he do the more serious music. So when he say, "I'm sorry, mama," I like that song. Or
Yeah.
"Go," I like,
Yeah.
or that
White
or
America. Yeah.
or even I never knew I
Eminem was a classic
I
album.
never knew I or
Hey.
what was the song with where he had with Sticky Fingers? I think that was the
Remember Me?
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that was the first time I would say Sticky Fingers had the better verse in that song,
Mm.
and it's not often that somebody have a better verse than Eminem on the same song. But so
Yeah.
I think people from like black people they probably just relate to Jay Z's verse more, but from a lyrical standpoint, Eminem had the better verse. But depending on who you are, what you've been through, you might feel Jay Z's verse more and relate to
Mm.
it. But
Yep.
was it better lyrically? No.
I will say this as far as relatability. I don't really because most of the rappers I have listened to in my life, none of them I can relate to from one way or another because they're talking about living in the hood. Some of them talk about selling drugs. Some of them talk
Right.
about wanting to kill themselves. I can relate to if they say they were suicidal, I can relate to that.
Right,
Unfortunately,
right,
you know
I
what
right.
I'm
think we
saying?
all kind of went through that.
You know what I'm saying? I
That's why
can
I like Biggie first album. And
ready to
Tupac.
die. It's
Yeah,
a
Ready to Die and Tupac. He talked about
Tupac
suicidal.
lives now. All of like
Yeah,
yeah, like both of them talking about those kind of things. I unfortunately can relate to now, but as far as like I've never been on the streets. Technically, I lived in I guess what could be considered the hood at least once in my life for like a little for like a little bit. I know what it's like to to be kind of I know what it's like to have divorced parents. I know what it's I
yeah,
know I know what it's like to feel like an outcast, especially love Outcast too. But
yeah,
I know what it feels like to feel like an outcast because I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nerd with cerebral palsy, so like
yeah.
I'm a black nerd with cerebral palsy.
Right, right, yeah.
So it's like okay, my stuff was my stuff was stacked. Eventually, I learned it doesn't matter. But as far as but getting back to the question, um, most people would say M because he's very because he's very technical, and some people would say Jay Z because of relatability, and they don't and it's a bit more simplistic. I say the fact that we're still talking about this years later after the song had already been out for years says a
Yeah,
lot about both of them.
right.
You
Is
know what I'm
that
saying? It's
is
a
that
it says a lot about both of them. But if I were to go, I would probably go M. I love
yeah,
Jay Z, but I'd probably say M.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
See, at the end of the day, like I'm a lyrical nerd. I like to hear the lyrics. Like, so
Yep.
my honorable mention it's got to be Joe Budden. I know a lot of y'all don't. Y'all know Joe Budden from Pump 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 It Up. No, listen to his
Joe,
music, bro. He
you
got
listen to
some.
his music. It's dude can rap, and he has concepts. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
he talk about a lot of mental health in his music, but
Mm-hmm.
even his first album, if with Pump It Up on it, that was a well balanced album. He had a
Yeah, he
little
got this
bit of
song called
he
"Walk
had
with
a
Me,
little
Girl."
bit of everything on that first album,
Yep.
and then he kind of went into the new music where it was all about like mental health and
Yeah,
depression.
yeah,
The new music. Um, I don't think he was the best rapper in
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. Yeah, I don't think
Slaughterhouse.
the best rapper in Slaughterhouse to me, and
Crocodile.
he had the best verse in every song. It was probably Crocodile, then Rush the
Lord
Pop.
Loyal
Jesus.
G's.
Let me tell let me tell you something. They dropped the ball with Slaughterhouse. I was
Yeah,
so
all they
I was
did,
so mad.
all
Oh
my
my
time.
god. No, no, because I was like, these four are beasts.
It still
They
hurts
are
my heart today,
it
but they
hurts.
just
It
could do.
hurts. It hurts. I will listen to each of them individually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But when they came together, just to put out that first album, I still listen to the Slaughterhouse
yeah, yeah,
self-titled album.
yeah.
Like and when they got that deal with Shady Records, I was like, at first I was like, oh man, it's over. It's over. Like everybody else is done. They came out with Hammer Dance. I was like, okay, that's done. But
Bro, when Joel, well, no, when Crooked Eye said it's
yeah.
all Lovey Smith, y'all bear
Yeah.
with me, I was like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah.
this song, when Joel Ortiz and Joe Budden came out with this song called "Skeletons in My Closet,"
Yep.
skeletons,
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, bro, they
Yeah.
dropped the ball. That hurt. I was like, nah.
I just think I look at Griselda and be like, if Shady would have just let them do them without trying to make the radio singles,
But
uh,
that, but that's the thing with the mainstream though. They want you to have they want you to
yeah,
have
yeah.
they want you to have a radio single.
Right,
And
they do, but
you
I
know,
think
but
Griselda was on Shady for a while
they
though.
were, and they already had a presence where they were in like in New York. They already had like all they needed
Yeah,
was the distribution machine,
right.
and that was it. They had it, and until this day, until this day, they're still cool with them. They had
Yeah,
Griselda as the collective on Shady, and I believe Conway the Machine, his first solo album, if I remember correctly, was on
We're
Shady.
gonna say, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So and people can say whatever the heck they want about Shady, but they always look at lyrical ability. There's this one dude on Shady called Grip, and he's
Um,
yeah, he like people were like, let's put it this way. When I first heard him, they were like, M signed him, and he only had like I don't know how many Instagram followers because now it's all about
right.
it's all about your
Yeah.
following on Instagram and other social media, whatever. Like this dude had music and lyrical ability, concepts, all of that, beats, all of that, you know. So
Yeah, well, my favorite artist on the Shady Records was this rapper named Stat Quo.
Oh
Stat
yeah.
Quo,
Oh, well, I'm so proud about.
another one where the ball kind of dropped
Yeah,
there.
and I feel
Yeah,
like he, as that quote said in the interview, he said while Shady was hot, they should have just let him put the album out, kind of like they did with G Unit. You know how that
yeah,
first that first Lloyd Banks a young Buck album, they just put it out. I think because it was Shady slash Dr. Dre.
aftermath. Hmm.
Yeah, when you sign the Aftermath, man, messing with Dr. Dre, you might be on the shelf. He gonna have you do the same song 100 times over.
Yeah,
So I
Nah,
think
so what they did with 50 Cent was when they wanted 50 Cent to put out a you talking about when G Unit was out, so they wanted 50 Cent to put out a second album.
yeah,
But 50 Cent was like, no, like why don't we get G Unit out? Why don't we get Lloyd Banks out? Why don't we get
I
he
know.
Buck
like
out.
I'm not putting out the second album. He
Yeah.
Yeah,
wanted to get his team out first.
And
yeah.
Dre just didn't do that for Stat Cool. Stat, I was waiting for that album for so long.
That Statlanta album.
Yeah,
Because it was like they're like it was all over, like it was all over the place. Like he had one video for it. Then some time went by. Then they put out a compilation album called the Re-Up album,
Yeah,
and
I
yeah.
got that album.
me too. I got it as soon as it came out. As soon like I was like, okay, this is dope. It had everybody I love on it, plus the new guys. Cassius,
Yeah.
Cassius, what
Stack.
the fuck happened to Cassius, bro?
Cassius, he went independent after after that, but he's still cool with Shady though. Like I think he worked for them for a little bit after that.
I
But
ain't gonna lie, Cassius was that artist that talked that pain and that depression stuff too.
yeah,
And he was he got some Serenade My Life. He got a
mhm,
song on the re-up, bro. I
yeah.
forgot what the name was, but he killed that. It was him and it's somebody else from D12. They killed
Mhm.
that joint.
Man, I love that. I love that entire roster. I was such a fan, especially in the early 2000s when they were really cooking. That I bought almost everybody's album except for 50 Cent because I didn't have the money. But
I,
everybody when 50 came out, you couldn't walk outside without
yeah,
hearing
yeah,
When
like
50 came out, the world stopped.
the world stopped. Absolutely. And
yeah.
then when G Unit came out, because they already had a presence in mixtapes and
Yeah.
and everything else, and each one of them could hold their own. You know what I'm saying?
Especially
I
Lloyd Banks.
especially Lloyd Banks, Buck. I'll even give it to Yayo, but
Yeah, all of
um,
them were talented. Game, Buck, yo,
yeah,
it wasn't no weak links in that group, man.
no,
So the problem was with Lloyd Banks was he would always make good like mixtape records, but
mhm,
he didn't do anything past the music. This is what 50 Cent said. All he wanted to do was just make music and record. He didn't have a personality outside of that.
Yeah, he
he
didn't
didn't
work
he,
with
he
social
didn't
media.
diversify.
Yeah, when
He,
you go to
he
the because
didn't
I
work
went to a
with
G Unit
social
concert.
media or show his personality. Kendrick don't really be on social media either, but he a different animal. Hey, y'all, speaking of artists that never like put out an album or became what we thought they were gonna be, I got a couple names. Do
Yeah.
y'all remember Fabulous's brother Paul Kane?
Who? Say that
Paul
again.
Yeah, I
Kane,
remember
he,
Paul King.
he
But
Fabulous brother, and he was on
Hmm.
some of those mixtapes with Fabulous. And
Oh.
and sometimes I thought Man, he might be a little better than Ballas, and he never came out.
Well,
Another one,
the thing that was wrong with Paul Kane was he was in the streets. So like,
yeah, and
he,
I think his brother was famous, so he was getting money. He wasn't really taking it serious. That's
yeah,
in
yeah,
my
he was
head.
in the
That's
streets.
Jay Hood from D Block.
Oh
Yeah, Jay
yeah.
Hood.
I think they
Yeah.
should have put him out when he was young, but because I think they were still trying to get established in the industry, and they just never put him out. He was talented, and the
No, Jay Hood fell out with D Block.
Did
yeah,
he?
because
Dang.
they never put his album out. Yeah, he was dragging the D Block chain in the mud and all that. He
Oh
actually got
wow.
Yeah,
an
and then
album.
that's
He
around the
actually got an
time like
album with
Jay
Yuck's
Hood
mouth
came out
on
around the
it.
time Lloyd Banks was out. So it was like, what
Yeah,
Mm.
you gonna like that or you gonna, you know what I'm saying?
and one more guy, Jody Breeze from Boys in the Hood. Everybody thought he was gonna be the star in Boys in the Hood. They didn't think it was
Mm.
gonna be Jeezy.
Nah, Jody Breeze is trash. The way that
Nah, he was nice, man. He's crazy.
no, Jody Breeze. No, this is what happened. Young Jeezy came out. Young Jeezy came out and Gucci Man. Young Jeezy came out. Young Jeezy was the star of that shit. Jody Breeze got pushed to the side.
But at first they thought of man because he was a young one. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I can talk about music all day though. So
It's why I did this. Why I like. I'm so glad you came on the show, bro. I got a whole new respect for you, bro. I didn't even know you was in the music like
man,
this.
man, great show, man. We talked about cerebral palsy, hip hop, dating, man, great show, man. We love when we have interesting guests on the show, man. So
Oh,
we
thanks.
really appreciate it, man. Great,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
we don't even want to take the rest of the show with this. We want to cue this right where it's at.
I
Man,
want to like, and I also do. I'm sorry for interrupting.
nah, go ahead.
I also do a podcast myself talking about disability and mental health called A for Able, and been doing that. Been doing that for a while, but sitting on a couple episodes now. About to release them soon. I talked to Rude about being on there not so long ago, but I want to extend an invitation to the two of you whenever you got time to be on my platform.
Let us know.
Oh
We'll pull
yeah,
up.
definitely. Anytime I put, hey, I want to ask you since you brought it up. What's the meaning behind A for April?
Okay, A for Able. Okay, A for Able came from
Oh, A for
um,
Able. I
A
thought
for
it was
Abled.
April.
Yeah,
Okay,
A for Abled. A for Abled came from. So my aunt saw how I was doing my other show called On the Brain. I had a network of shows called On the Brain Entertainment,
okay,
and we
That's
talked.
fine.
We talked about different sections of, and she saw that, and she saw how we were moving with that. But then she's like, "So why don't you do something about living with cerebral palsy?" Because there wasn't that many shows at the time talking about it. And I was like, you know what? That's great, but I don't want to just talk about cerebral palsy because I feel like I'm just talking about myself. I want to talk about the whole gambit. I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about whatever kind of disability you have. I want to talk about your feeling. I want to talk about all of that. So one day, while thinking to myself, okay, I should do it, because, but it was also something that I was not used to being too serious on a podcast, just exposing like myself. Usually I like being just my nerdy self, you know what I'm saying? But talking about living with the disability and everything, and everything else I had never done before. So it was, so I was apprehensive about it. And then one day I'm going through titles of what I could call the show in my head, and A for Able just popped in my head. And it was about 11:30 at night. So I hit up my sister, my aunt who gave me the idea, and my mother, and they all unanimously agreed. Like that's what you call it.
yeah,
That's what like.
Yeah,
that's a fire name, man.
Yeah.
that's how it kind of worked out with Handicap and Chill podcast, bro. We be
Mhm.
sitting on the phone trying to
Yeah,
figure it out, and I was just like, we was just like, yo, I was just like, yo, how about Handicap and Chill? And he
yeah,
was, and then, see, because Michael, like, he's so difficult to run ideas by, because he could be like, no, that we don't gotta do that. We don't gotta do that.
no,
So I was like,
your first couple ideas wasn't that good, man. But when you came up with Handicap and Chill, I was like, that's it. Let's catch you a play on the Netflix and chill. So people like,
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, man. But man, hey man, great interview, man. Give your socials. Let the people know where to find you at, how to reach out to you.
Oh
And
yeah,
we
you
will be
can.
pulling up to your show too.
Oh
We
yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. I gotta stop. I gotta stop sitting on stuff. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
yes. So you can find me on Instagram at Kyle Eric 3233, as well as on YouTube on the A for Able podcast, Spotify, same thing. The A for Able, the A for Able podcast, and Facebook at Kyle Barboza.
Okay, cool, man.
go ahead, Mike. Give you.
My socials, man. Michael 57. I mean, I am Michael 57 on TikTok, Instagram, Michael 57 underscore, Facebook, Michael Watson, or you can just hit up my website, Michael57.com. It got everything going on with me, including my social medias.
Awesome.
Word. So you can follow me on Threads at Rule Life Period NASA, Instagram Rule Life Period NASA, Facebook Rule Life NASA. Hey, subscribe to the Handicap and Chill podcast. Like follow us on Facebook at the Handicap and Chill podcast. And we'll be back next week. See y'all again, man. Peace.
Peace.
And